Today we are going to create a simple mobile app for iPhone. Since this is our first tutorial, we are going to create a simple app where there will be a button, and on a click of a button, the background color of our view will change. See, on click of the button for the first time, the background color changes to green. On the click of the button for the second time, it resumes to white. If you are the first time user, you may or may not have Xcode installed to your system. So first of all, you need to download and install the Xcode. Let us quickly download the Xcode. Go to your Spotlight and click App Store. Go to the App Store. Go to the Develop area and get the Xcode. This is the Xcode. It will provide you the latest version of the Xcode. Click on the Xcode and download the Xcode with this button. You can check if the Xcode is compatible to your Mac OS or not, going to the compatibility area. Here in the compatibility area, it states works on this MacBook Pro. It states Mac OS 10.15.4 or later. You can check the Mac if your Mac OS is 10.15 or not by going to the Apple logo and clicking on about this Mac. You get to know your Mac OS version over here. It states Mac OS Catalina with version 10.15.4. So I have the updated Mac OS. I can download this Xcode and I will install that Xcode. I already have installed my Xcode, so I will just open that Xcode from my Launchpad. Here it is a Launchpad. Go to the Launchpad and install it. Here you are directed with the welcome screen. In the welcome screen, you have 3 buttons. Among these 3 buttons, click on Create a new Xcode project. It will redirect to you to select bunch of templates. We will be using a single view app template. This is a basic. So we will select that and click Next button. We will provide the product name. For the product name is always visible below the product icon. You can see the product name below the product icon. See, this is a file product icon and this is a product name. So give a good product name for your project. So I have provided a name for my product name. For the theme, let it be none. We will discuss more detail about these things in a separate video. These things are required before uploading the app to the Apple Store. For the development purpose, you can select none. Organization name, you can provide the name of your organization over here if you have, and if you don't have any organization, you can just give your name over here. Organization identifier is your domain name. You have to provide the domain name. If you have a domain, you can provide the domain name. Otherwise, you can provide com, that's your name, and that will go. That will do. Bundle identifier is already developed by the Xcode. Language. We can write the code in Swift as well as in Objective-C. Swift is more secure and it is the latest. So we will be coding our project in Swift. So I have selected Swift. User interface. Storyboard and Swift UI. Swift UI is the latest. Storyboard is the basic. So we will use Storyboard. Core data. We won't be using a core data in this project. However, we will discuss core data in separate video. So let be unchecked. Unit testing. We will not be using any unit testing. Let it be unchecked. Go to the next button and click it. Now, Xcode is asking where you want to put the project. I have created a folder in my document directory. I will put my project in that folder. So I will select that folder and click create. You can see there is a source control that you have to just uncheck, let it unchecked. And then we will discuss about the source control in any other tutorial. Create, click create. So my project is created. This is the project workspace. So before we discuss the project workspace, suppose you accidentally close this workspace. So I will close this workspace and open it from the folder where I have created that. I will go to the Finder, I will go to the document directory and I will select that folder. I have created my demo button, so I will select my demo button and go to this .xcode project file. I can open my xcode project from this .xcode project file. If I double click this .xcode project file, this will open my project workspace. The project workspace is divided into 3 different areas. We will quickly discuss these areas. This is a navigation area. This is the leftmost portion, and this is the navigation area. It describes me all the file navigations, all the files that are present in the project. So I have these files, and this shows my this is called navigation area. This is the editor area. In the editor area, we will do editing of these files. Here I have selected a view controller. In the editor area, I can see the view controller file is open, and I can do my editing part over here. This is the utility area. The rightmost portion is the utility area. Utility area describes more detail about the editor area. Suppose I have selected main.storyboard. I have selected a view controller file from here, and I can see a view controller file, and from the view controller file I have selected a view, and I can see the view in the editor area. In the utility area, if I have selected the view, I can see all the detail about the view in the utility area. So this is the utility area. Now let us discuss the topmost toolbar. In the topmost toolbar, I have here 3 buttons. This cross button will kill my project, will close my project. So I will not click on this cross button. This will minimize, this will maximize. This is a basic. So these 3 buttons. So after these 3 buttons, I have this triangular button. This is used to run my app. I will run my app by clicking on this button. Let me just run my app very quickly. So my app is launched. I can see my application in the simulator. This is a simulator. The simulator resembles the device. It's a virtual device, and whatever we do in my project will be shown in this simulator. And like this, this is a virtual device, so whenever you launch your application in actual device, it will be similar to as shown in the simulator. So I can select my simulator, different type of simulator. This iPad Air, iPhone 6s, these are the simulator. I can always check my application in different simulator. So you don't have to buy different type of iPhone to run your app. You can check the all the detail about your project in a simulator. This button, this stop the running task. So this terminate my app. So I have stopped, and the simulator minimizes my app. I can see my app. And the name of my app is my demo button. So I can see over here. I can always click over here and I can see. I haven't done anything, any coding. I haven't designed my app yet, so I cannot see anything over here. So this is the initial or a starter project. Now just very quickly do the design part. I need to create a button. As we have already discussed, we need to create a button, and on click of a button, the background color of my screen should change. So for that, I need a button over a view. I need to put a button on this UI view. This is UI view. You can see this is a UI view. It states that interface is UI view. On this view or a screen, UI view is a screen, or you can see it is a view. You can always check the detail. You can always learn more about these from this description. So I have to put a button over here. I will click this plus icon. This plus icon states a library. The library which contains the UI objects. These are the UI objects. These UI objects are, from these UI objects, I need to drag and drop my button. I will just drag and drop my button. You can see the detail of the button over here. It states that this class is UI button. This class is UI button. UI button interface. It is UI control type. So, I have put my button and I will just align it properly so that it will be visible good in all the iPhone types like iPhone 6s, iPhone 7, iPhone 10. I have to align this button. iPhone has iOS and iPhone has or Xcode has a set of rules to align this button so that it will be visible properly in all the devices. Those set of rules are called auto layout, and from that auto layout I will provide a constraint for this button and I will align this button to the middle of the screen and I will provide a breadth and a height for this button. So first of all, let me just provide a good background color to my UI button. I have put a UI button. I will put this UI button to be custom. So I can add image or do anything to it. The system will create a UI button with a simple layout, but my custom UI button will allow me to add images and many other things, background color and all that. So I have selected type custom. I will name this button as click me and I will just add a text color as black and I will just add click me. So see, now I will provide a background color. Let me provide a background color red. Now the text color should be white, so I will provide again go to this and I will provide a white color for the text. Now I will provide the font. I will just put the font a little bit larger and now this looks okay. Now I will just provide the constraint. For providing the constraint, I have these button over here. To provide a constraint, add a new constraint, I will click here. It will show me a square box with these arrows. I will align this from the top, bottom, left and right. From the top, suppose I need to provide this, this button to be a little bit in the middle like this. So I will go over here. This is 300. Let me align it 300 up and 300 down and 116 left and 116 right. I will add these 4 constraints. Now my button is aligned from the top and I do not see any error or a warning over here. Let me just run my application once again. It is a good practice to always run your app and get to know whatever is visible. So this is a click. So now since we have added a button, we have to add IB action for this button. We have to add action for this button. So for adding the action for this button, we need to connect this button which is in our main.storyboard class to our viewcontroller class. How will we do that? We will just connect this button which is in our main.storyboard to our viewcontroller.swift file by creating an IB action for this button. In IB action is an action which provide a function which includes a function where the button click will be called. Whenever the button click, that part of the code will be executed. So let us create an IB action and connect this button to our viewcontroller.swift file. For that, just check this icon. It says add editor on right. You can click this and you can add another file along with main.storyboard along with the main.storyboard side by side to this editor portion. So now you can see we have two files opened side by side. One is our main.storyboard, so second should be our viewcontroller.swift. For getting viewcontroller.swift, go to this icon, click recent file and go to viewcontroller.swift class. So now you have a main.storyboard file open on your left hand side and viewcontroller.swift file open on your left hand side, on your right hand side. Sorry. So you click here, get this button, select this button and right click and drag this button to and inside a viewcontroller.swift class. This is viewcontroller.swift class. You can see inside this braces, you have to create any method inside this braces. So select this button, right click this button and drag it to viewcontroller.swift class inside the viewcontroller.swift class. So if as soon as you leave it here, you will get this pop-up. Here in this pop-up, you have to fill some of the essential things that needed to be told to the for the proper execution of the code. So here you have a connection. Connection says IB outlet. You don't have to create an IB outlet. You have to create an IB action. So select IB, select action. We will discuss about the outlet in our next tutorial. So you are creating an action for this button. You have the name. The name is the name of the function. The name of the function should be relevant with the purpose of the function is fulfilling. So I will name this function as click me button tabbed. So type should be UI button and event is touch up inside. You see this is a drop down, but since touch up inside is a basic event, we will select touch up inside. Argument will be sender or none. We will take sender, but you can also take none because we don't want to access the button inside the function we are going to create. We are going to just change the color of the view. But for now, let it be sender and connect this button. So you can see the function is created with an IB action. So an IB action function is created, and whatever you do inside this IB action, that part of the code will be executed as soon as you hit the button. So let us quickly change the background color of UI view to green before relaunching the app. So we will write self.view. So what this self.view will do is that says self.view denote the view which is inside the view and which is inside the view controller class. Every view controller class by default has a UI view. You can see you have a UI view inside a view controller class. So by default, every view controller class has a UI view, and that UI view can be accessed by using self.view. So I am going to access this UI view or view. So I am writing self.view dot background color because I am going to change the background color of the view is equal to UI color dot green. This code is going to change the background color of the view, which is inside the view controller class by default, which is inside the view controller class. So I am going to now relaunch my app to see if this part of the code is being executed or not. So let me just relaunch my app. See, the background color of the view is changing. So, as we have discussed in our earlier part of this tutorial, we are going to create a program where the background color of the view is going to change on click of the button, and the background color will resume to the previous one as the user hit the button again. So, we are going to write the code to do this. So let us just this was our previously, this is our final code and this is our running code. So we are going to do that whenever the user is going to click the button for the first time, the background color of the view should change, and as the user hit the button for the second time, the background color resumes to the previous one. So how will we do that? We are going to do that by using a simple logic. We are going to apply a logic, and that logic can be stated as pseudocode or algorithm. You can say that the algorithm of this part of the code will be that we are going to create a variable, a boolean variable. First of all, we are going to do the two things. We are going to create a boolean variable and we are going to create a if-else statement. So what we will do, we will create a boolean variable. The boolean variable is a variable which contain or which has a value of true and false. The variable which takes a value true or false is called a boolean variable. So we are going to create a boolean variable. That boolean variable is will check that if the background color has been changed or not. And if the background color has been changed, the if part of the code will be executed. If the background color of the boolean variable has not been changed, then the if part of the code will be executed, and if the background color of the boolean variable has been changed, the else part of the code will be executed. So let us do this. We will create a boolean variable. We will create variable is color changed is to, we are going to write the type of the variable. This is bool is equal to false. Initially the value will be false. So we are creating a boolean variable and we are initializing the value to be false. And now we are going to create an if-else statement. So see, the autocomplete computer is providing us an autocomplete, xcode is providing us an autocomplete syntax. So we will write if, and we will also take the else part. So we will write else this. So what will be the condition inside the if statement? Is the color changed? If the color changed is false, then if part of the statement will be followed. So we will change the background color to green, else we will change the background color to white. So now, since the background color of the view is not changed, inside the if statement, we are changing the background color. So we will, after changing the background color, we will change the value of boolean variable to true. Here you have to note one thing, that is equal to sign here. This is an assignment operator where we are checking the condition. We use assignment operator, and this is the equal to sign that is normally used as arithmetical operator. So is equal to is denoting the arithmetical operator. So for checking we use double is equal to, and for putting any value we use is equal to sign. So here we are changing this value to true, and here we are again changing this value to false. So let us relaunch our app. Before relaunching, let me explain this logic once again. We are creating a boolean variable. that boolean variable is taking a value false. Initially the color is not changed, so the value is false. So whenever the user hit click me button, the value is checked, and if since the initially the value is false, it goes to the if statement inside this part. So here we are changing the background color and changing the value of the boolean variable to be true. So the next time when the user hit the button again, since the value is changed to true, it will go to the else part and it will change the background color to white, and again the value will be changed to false. So let us launch our app, relaunch our app. Before launching, we will just stop and run our code. So see, the background color changes to green for the first time and the background color changes to white for the second time. This goes on. So this is all we were required to do. Our project is complete. So in our next tutorial, we are going to learn some more exciting thing, like we will customize our button, we will change the screen, we will customize our screen, and we are going to learn about the IB outlet. We are going to learn more about the constraint, that alignment part. We are going to learn more about that, and we will do some more interesting stuff in our next tutorial. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe this channel, and goodbye for now. See you in our next tutorial.